Hello there everyone, Ashton Flash here, and welcome on into a early LEGO Marvel Infinity Saga set review. Today we are looking at set number 76327. This is the new Iron Man Mark IV bust, has 436 pieces, retailing for $59.99 USD or $79.99 Canadian beginning on June 1st. I'm excited about this only because of, well, two reasons. One, mostly because this is the start of something new, which I'm excited by, especially the prospects of getting really cool and detailed figures. This set specifically does come with a suit that we've been waiting a really long time to get, the Mark IV. So that's very exciting. That's completing the main core suit selection that we see on display in Iron Man 3. So I'm excited about that, as well as the fact that this is a new sort of sub-theme. On the side of the box, it actually says Bust Collection. So this is clearly the start of more things to come. And of course, we saw the Iron Spider, but who knows what else? All right, so here it is built, and I don't know how I feel about this. I think I still like the concept more than I like the actual execution of this. A large part of that still for this set is my enjoyment that there is a minifigure in here. I know that this is going to upset a lot of Star Wars fans because there's literally a spot right on the plaque for all of those buildable microships, and they just aren't including them, which I think is crazy to me. But anyways, the design of this, there are some things in here that literally I was like, okay, that's actually a really cool building technique. Do I think that it looks the greatest? Especially the face, I think, is obviously what I think most people are commenting on. But I think that it still is very impressive for how compact this is and what they actually got out of this. There's actually a few different play features, which I forgot actually existed here. Specifically, with the mouth there, you can open it up a little bit. You can also turn and rotate the head around 360 degrees, which makes for a really just creepy, I don't know, thing here. Looking at it from this side, I don't even know, that's just weird. I don't know if that comes across on camera, but I do like that it turns that way because the whole build is like on this sloped angle. That's why the head actually turns and spins that way. I think overall how this is built with the stand actually on this angle and the fact that you can actually rotate and spin this around, I think is actually quite an interesting design for sure. And the stand, there is actually two alternative build for that. So you've got this and then another version. So here, taking a closer look at the stand, I really love this. I think it's just very unique, the angle that this is on. But overall, I think that's really cool. Again, the fact that you can actually rotate this and angle this different ways. You do have a spot here to place the figure. And then you've also got this 2x6 here as well, with the Lego Marvel logo printed on there with the Iron Man Mark IV. So here's what it looks like, the other build for the stand. It's a little bit more boring in my opinion. It's fine for what it is for sure, but I think that just if you want to display the actual plaque, it just is I don't know. I think maybe what you could do is just remove all of these parts here and just replace this on the bottom. But maybe just displaying this on its own, I think also is another option. I wish that maybe they included the parts for just how simple and clean that looks. And then maybe using the other parts, you can have a little side build showcasing the minifigure or something. I don't know. But the other thing for this that I just want to show you is what it looks like from underneath. Now, you can actually easily detach the whole thing if you just want to have the bust like displayed on its own without a stand. And this is the connection points underneath, just all of the black and everything built underneath. This is the base of this entire build here. The other thing that you can actually have is you can lift this up and then you turn this here and boom, got these missile launchers from the shoulder, which I think is really cool. Now coming closer to actually show you that up close, it looks interesting, the part usage there that they've chosen for that. This is like one of those tread pieces there, and you can actually just turn that around there. You could see how you fold that back in, and then you just fold it into the shoulders. So it's always sort of seen. So I don't know about that, but I don't know how else they could have fixed that. I think maybe they could have just maybe chosen different pieces for this, but it still works. It's an interesting part. We've got some of the newer bow pieces And I like how that shoulder looks there. I think that's pretty good. This connection point is a little too flimsy in my opinion here. I find that as I was building this, it was constantly falling off. Now it is a display model. You're not really going to be playing with it too much besides activating this here. So I just thought that I'd mention that's a little bit too weak of a connection point. I really like the front center chest build here. The building technique for this is just on those ball joints, and you fold this in front here, but I still think that looks really good. They did experiment with some light bricks and different things before, but because they only have yellow and red, which is a shame, it just didn't really look too good. I wish maybe it was glow in the dark or something, or maybe they gave you the option to do that, but it still works. I think it looks pretty good. And again, coming over here to this side, it's just the exact same thing. All that's different here is obviously it's just reflected for the left shoulder. Up here around the neck, I just find it interesting, some of the part usage here that we've got going on with those arm pieces and then holding onto the stamp. So that's kind of interesting there, the detailing. Also the skate pieces inverted there as well is kind of neat. I do like these bows around the back there, as well as a little bit of gold there. But there's just too many gaps here, in my opinion. Like, I don't know. You can see from here, like, there's just a lot of space that I wish was probably more closed up. Also, just a lot of like studs and different things exposed over there in the back. I'm just going to remove the head, which you could do very easily. I think this piece here from Cars is very interesting. I don't mind that, but again, there's just so much exposed. I don't like that. Coming around here to the back, I actually really like how this is done. You've got this slope piece here, and then you attach one of the new clipped pieces for 2025. And when you attach it, you then have to angle those pieces to actually line up with that. So that's a really cool part usage there, I think. And you can see what this looks like in the back for the shoulder here, all the dark gray that does stick out just a bit, I think. So the head, while it does look off, it is quite impressive just how compact, again, this actually is. Let me see if I can actually separate it. You could see how this is built. You actually build in two parts. First, you build half of it here, which I think is interesting. And then you slide this on top, which I wanted to show you the eyes, how that's built. I think that's actually really cool. Again, it's a very detailed build, but it still looks a little off. I love the gold that they have chosen for this. It's just the reflectiveness is so much better than like the gold that you see over there in the back. Now, the eyes, I think, again, look pretty good. The way that that is on an angle and everything. The mouth can open just to show you a little bit of a shocked expression there. More comic booky, I guess, than MCU there with the mouth open. Another thing that I don't like is this tan little piece there. I don't like how that's sticking out and that I can see that. It just should have been maybe a 1x1 tile in the other gold. I would have preferred than tan. That just sticks out a lot in my opinion there. But the shaping of the head over here in the back, it looks good. I don't know about that one black line there. But again, you can sort of see inside. I don't know if you can see that there. The inside part of the head, depending on how you look at it. So there's a few things here and there that I feel like should just be cleaned up a little bit more. Just size-wise, I thought that I should show you the original first helmet from Marvel that we got next to the new bust. Same designer, by the way, for both of them. And I just think that it's interesting, the scale of this. And now helmets are priced at the same price as this bust and without a figure. So I don't know, there's also different things that you could do with this, like the different posability options that you have with this, with moving the head as well as the shoulder and everything there. So I don't know, I think that these are a little bit more interesting than helmets in some ways because they can do more things. Here is the Iron Man Mark IV. I think a pretty iconic suit from Iron Man 2, especially with him up in the donut and everything. I love that we finally have this suit. It also completes, again, all of the suits that we had been missing. So I'm very happy about that. And the torso printing looks amazing. I think it looks very detailed here on the back and same here on the front. The exclusive legs as well. The helmet, however, is not exclusive. So that is a bit of a shame. Of course, you can flip up the facial helmet there in the front. And you got the heads-up display on one side for Tony and a regular Tony Stark face on the other side. Mine is really misprinted there with the mustache, but I love this figure. I think that I'm going to display the bust without the figure on it just because this figure needs to join all of the other 6 that I have on display and all the other Iron Man suits that I have. So there's going to be a video probably coming out soon talking about that more. All right, here's the instructions, and it's an interesting choice to have Iron Man on an angle there, but you can see on the back this other picture of Iron Man, and flipping through here, you can see just how they are talking about Iron Man and Tony Stark. I like the different quotes throughout this as well. I was reading a little bit before. It's not about me. I love that. It's fun that you can read about the Mark IV. After you open up bag number 2, you attach some pieces underneath to the bust, and then you build the figure. And now you have a choice to make. So you can choose to flip ahead to page 43 if you want to build the stand with the cool angle. Anyways, everyone, that is my review of the Iron Man Mark IV bust. Again, I like the concept more than the actual execution of it. Some cool building techniques throughout this, but for me, the draw is this Iron Man Mark IV figure. That is what I am definitely most excited about in this set. But I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments about this. Are you excited for this new sub-theme for Marvel? Are you happy that figures are being included? Do you want to see maybe Star Wars do busts instead of helmets? Who do you want to see next? I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments about all that down below. So be sure to subscribe, turn the bell notification so you don't miss out on future LEGO Marvel set news and reviews just like this one. Hope you guys did enjoy the video. Hope you all have a great day. We'll see you all in the next one.